Alright, today we're riding on the Magicycle again. This is day number 2. This is basically the bike maxed out. I changed all of its settings. I've gone through and upped the top speed. I've upped the amperage on the motor. I've done a lot of different things. So I'm going to go through all the settings with you and what they mean, and we're going to talk about the bike and how I got to adjust my mirror. Okay. So first things first, I changed the top speed to 28 miles an hour. That's as fast as this bike will go. And sorry if I'm screaming, but it's pretty windy today and the wind's blowing in my ear, so it's hard for me to hear. But yeah, so top speed, 28 miles an hour. Now I believe you can hit that throttle only RPAS. So here's throttle only. We are going slightly downhill. We were going slightly downhill. I had to brake because there's a truck pulled over there. But yeah, it hit 28 miles an hour pretty easy. Stay on the road. It's fine. I'm going fast enough. Might be better for me to go down to the light. It might not be. I'm going to turn around here. Stay on the main road and go to my filming spot where I can fly the drone. Because that's another thing that we're doing today, is getting some B-roll. Let's just go up this curb. It's like nothing. I don't even have to jump. It just climbs over it. Who needs a ramp? Now that was a pretty low curb. But yeah. This bike is pretty sweet. I'm doing some David brand new moves on this bike. This was one of his favorites, so it's kind of cool that we both review the same things, pretty much. Alright, we're gonna park this smack dab in the middle of the parking lot. So the first thing you're going to do is on the remote for the control panel where your plus and minus are. With the bike powered on, you're going to push and hold the plus and minus at the same time for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then you'll get into the main menu. So the first thing you're going to want to do is change the speed limit setting to 28 miles per hour. That's the max, but you can set it to whatever you want if you want to go lower. And then you'll go into the advanced settings. Under advanced settings, these are all the settings that I've changed. Do this at your own risk, but this should be perfectly fine to run on a regular basis. You can also change the volts to be either percentage to show your battery percentage, or you can have it show volts on the display. This is what my display looks like. I got the volts showing so I know exactly what the battery is at all times. And then on the top right, I have the time set. So this is a rare feature, unfortunately, but this bike has a clock and you can actually see the clock as you're riding at all times. So you don't necessarily ever need your phone. The display is pretty accurate. I'm gonna drive all the way around the block, talk about the bike a little bit more, and then I'm gonna head home. I've been working all day. It's now 7 o'clock, and there's a Blues game on tonight. St. Louis Blues lost their #1 goalie, and I'm a little sad about it. But I don't talk about hockey much on this channel, but next to e-bikes, that's probably my favorite thing. As far as hobbies go, if you consider that a hobby. Dude, there's like no bike that can corner like this one. And so I don't get any negative YouTube comments about me driving on the sidewalk. I only drive on the sidewalk when I have to. I'm not riding this bike down that road because people drive like crazy. And as you can see, I'm going really slow. So don't be busting my chops because I'm going down the damn sidewalk. I'm being cautious. Trust me, I've been doing this for 2 years now, almost 2 years. Alright, we're gonna go down here, we're gonna cross, and then we're gonna go around and go home. But since this is only my second day, I only rode about 3 miles the last time I got on it, just to take it and get some video and photos and stuff like that, talk about the bike. I've had a little bit more time on it, 4.3 miles now, so consider me to still be brand new on this bike, but I do have a ton of experience with e-bikes, so value my opinion for what it's worth. But out of every e-bike I've tested so far, this is probably #1 on my first impressions. And it might be because it's the only 26 by 4 inch fat tire bike that I got. And I've never ridden one before. But compared to everything else, the ride on this thing is super comfortable. Like, I feel like I can ride around all over the place and not get tired at all. The seat on here is super comfortable. The gearing's nice. The throttle works really well. There's a lot of power to get you up hills and stuff like that. I'm happy with it so far. Now, if you can see this, the roads are not the best. There's literally potholes and shit all over it. They haven't fixed it yet. But this thing goes over everything. And it doesn't even break a sweat. Now, one drawback to this bike is that it's incredibly heavy. It weighs about 75 to 80 pounds, probably more than that with all my shit on me. The max payload on this bike is 350 pounds. If you're a heavier guy, this bike will probably be good for you. Usually you can go a little over that weight restriction. Now, the handlebars are incredibly close to you, so they're not close to your knees, but they're close to your body. Just the ergonomics of it in itself, super comfortable. It feels like you're on a gigantic bike, like you always see people on these things, and they just like look huge. I've always wanted to ride one. And I thank Magicycle for sending this out, because not only do I get the opportunity to test cool e-bikes like this, but I get to show you what they can do. So we're just beginning. Remember that. You know how I was with the electric XP and the Ariel. Well, consider this to be another season. What I'm going to do to this is going to be a surprise. It may be something I've done before. Thanks. That's going in the video. Now we're getting lower down in the battery here. We are probably about 75% roughly. I'm not going to tell you the voltage until I stop for a little bit. Yeah, hi. Right here. So one drawback to this thing being so big is that it takes up a lot of room. It's hard to haul it around unless you have a bike rack made for it. I can't really take this anywhere, but that's fine. I can go out and ride around the town. I don't really care. That's what I'll use it for. But as far as portability, this is not the one you want. So this bike is very comparable to the Kepler, except for the top speed and the battery. So the Kepler's got a 20 amp hour battery. This has a 15 amp hour battery. So there's a pretty big difference in range right there. The Kepler is a 1,000 watt motor. This is a 750 watt motor. So there's some differences right there. Well, let's start with some of the similarities. They're the exact same build. The frames are almost exactly the same. They're both 26 by 4 inch fat tire e-bikes. They're both 52 volt e-bikes. The Kepler does have hydraulic brakes. The Kepler does have a 1,000 watt motor. This one has a 750 watt motor. The top speed on the Kepler states that it can hit 35 miles per hour. This one, 28. Hello. So 28 miles an hour on this bike is top speed, 35 with the Kepler, so 7 mile per hour difference. Now, you can pick which one you think is better. Right now, the Magicycle is cheaper and will be cheaper than the Kepler, probably throughout the Kepler's life. So overall, between this and the Kepler's got a lot better specs as far as speed and range go. Power, I don't know, I've never tested one, but I would love to grab one and do a comparison video. I think it would benefit both companies, so we'll see. But this one, to me, out of all my other e-bikes, is a great buy. It is also a very well-made machine. It is missing a few things that I wish it had, like hydraulic brakes. They do have upgrades available on their website, so if you want to get a hydraulic brake system for your Magicycle, then your Magicycle can have hydraulic brakes. They have them. I think I keep going down. I think I keep shrinking. Yeah, I am definitely shrinking. And I'm losing battery. But yeah, this bike, out of all my e-bikes, is incredible. I know a lot of you guys are waiting on your Keplers. I know a lot of you guys are interested in the Kepler. So I can't wait to see the review videos, even if I don't get to make one. I can't wait to see what everybody does. They didn't look like they did a whole lot of social media influence. I know they invited a couple people out to Ariel rider. That's pretty neat. Next video, we're gonna focus on range test. We're also gonna focus on the PAS levels, and I'm gonna tell you what each one does, so stay tuned. There's another video on the Magicycle Cruiser coming. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. You're not going to want to miss the next videos. I'm going to do a lot of stuff to this bike. If you're interested in this or the Kepler or any other 26 by 4-inch bikes, subscribe down below. I am going to tell you all about the mods that you can do to these things. So if you're interested in electric bikes, electric scooters, electric unicycles, Bromptons, or anything else I can think of to add to my channel, hit that subscribe button. If you want to see more Magicycle content, hit that like button. I'd love to show you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.